Hi everybody, Michelle McClunan here, and I'm delighted to be bringing you another astrology update. And it's quite a biggie because this month we have two major events happening in our skies. And as you'll know, if you watch any of these kinds of videos, we're all connected, so we feel the energy. Astrology really is based on the principle that whatever's happening up there is happening inside us because we are not separate from all that's happening out there. So when we have very big planetary alignments, it basically, we feel it and it influences us and we influence it. So that's why this month is very important as an astrological event, if you want to call it that. Astrologers have been talking about this moment for many years, the moments that are going to be coming this month. So first of all, we start with a solar eclipse on the 14th of December. And a couple of weeks ago, we had a lunar eclipse. So there's a theme going here. This solar eclipse is going to be happening in the sign of Sagittarius. And Sagittarius is a fire sign. It's got to do with the truth. It's got to do with the law. It's got to do with freedom as well. Freedom of thought, freedom of speech, disseminating information. So I think there's going to be a lot more coming out into the open, sort of things that we haven't been aware of in the past, I think may be exposed in the next few weeks, even more so. It's a solar eclipse is a new moon. So it's where the sun and the moon are together at the same degree, but an eclipse is much stronger because basically what happens is the moon is between the earth and the sun. So it blocks the light and it has a much longer lasting effect. So this solar eclipse is, as I say, happening in Sagittarius at about 26 degrees. And it's a time to start set new intentions, to plant new seeds, to kind of set the trajectory for the next month, but much further than that because of the other planetary energy that's happening and also because it's an eclipse. So it's a longer cycle. It's a much more potent energy than a normal new moon. So that's on the 14th of December. So set your intentions, write your intentions down, plant your new seeds. It's a time for actually laying the groundwork as it is. And Sagittarius is always connected with the future in terms of goals, in terms of where we want to be, in terms of what we'd like to do. This year it's a little difficult because it's a bit difficult to plan. So I see it as more an internal process in terms of where do you want to be internally? How do you want to feel? If you were to receive what you want in the outside world, if you were to receive the money, the partnership, the house, the new car, whatever it was, how would you feel? That for me is the intentions that we should be asking at this point. How do we want to feel? And then do more of that. So get ourselves into alignment with that rather than the outside. So that's the way I'm seeing the energy of the solar eclipse. So that sort of opens a gateway, it opens a portal, if you like, it opens a doorway to the big event, which is happening on the 21st of December. And that's known as the Great Conjunction. So the Great Conjunction is between the planets Saturn and Jupiter and happens round about every 20 years, 19.6 to 20 years. Every 20 years, the two of them come together in a different sign. So for the last 200 years, they've been coming together in earth signs. They obviously go through each of the elements. So for 200 years, they tend to run in cycles, and they actually come together in that particular element. So for 200 years, they've been happening in the earth element, which is very much about out there. It's very much about manifestation. It's very much about gathering wealth, building corporations, building power structures. That's been happening over the last 200 years. The interesting part of this one and the powerful part of this one is that, first of all, it is the first one in 200 years that'll be in air signs. Now, air is a much quicker energy. It's much less dense. It's much more liberated, actually. And so it's a very big shift in the trajectory that's been set now for the next 200 years. Okay, so that's the first thing. It's happening in an air sign for the first time. In addition to that, it's happening in the sign of Aquarius. The last time that happened was round about, where's my date here, 1405, which was kind of in the Renaissance times, where a lot of free thought came up. People were kind of rocking the system and doing their own thing. So that cycle is actually starting again now. So it's a very big cycle. So if you look at Aquarius, the energy of Aquarius energy is it's air, so it's about communication. Aquarius rules things like technology. It would rule things like artificial intelligence. It would rule things like the Internet of Things. It rules things like alternative healing, new ways of dealing with money, new ways of governing. It also represents the people. So what do the people want? As opposed to the establishment, which is more earthy. This is more the people. So this is a biggie. Aquarius is also connected with frequency, with energy. So for many years we've been talking about the age of Aquarius, and this is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. You'll remember the movie Hair, which came out years and years ago. Ages tend to take a long time to come into play. This is seen as most astrologers and most people that kind of follow this kind of thing as sort of the beginning, the real beginning of the age of Aquarius, with Jupiter and Saturn moving into the sign of Aquarius. It's not necessarily the start, because Pluto is still actually moving through Capricorn and will do so until 2023. So for me, this is the opening. It's like a portal to a new consciousness. There is a new consciousness emerging. Some people call it 5D awareness, where we're likely to be more energy conscious, more conscious of the power of our thoughts, the power to manifest from a non-physical situation. So that's going to be actually coming more and more to the fore in the next 200 years. So I see this as a very important portal leading up to, from now all the way up to that 21st point, where it's almost we need to set our frequency. We need to actually connect with the highest frequency that we can actually access inside ourselves, which for me says detox in the next few weeks. Let go of what you don't need, be it a thought pattern, be it something that you've been battling to let go of for years and years and years, be it something that you've been carrying heavy on your shoulders. This is the time to let go of that. It's literally clearing the way for this new paradigm, this new energy, this new consciousness. So I would say from now until the 21st, if you can spend much more time being quiet. It's quite active, fiery, masculine energy. So spend time connecting with the feminine energy, which is being, which is spending time in nature. Grounding, so walk around without shoes on. Maybe clear up your diet just for a couple of weeks, cut out toxins, reduce alcohol intake, caffeine intake, anything that sort of hypes you up, so that you actually start to balance the energy and get into a place of presence for this shift. A lot of people are saying, is something going to happen on the planet? Well, we don't know that. It could, after this year, I think anything's possible. But I wouldn't imagine that something specific is going to happen. I would say it's more likely something that happens within us, within each of us. Very sensitive energy, any people that are very sensitive to energy might feel it very clearly, a very big energy shift. don't worry if you don't. It's still happening. There's a lot going on, and a lot of people talking about DNA upgrades, ascension upgrades. It seems like our energy bodies are being upgraded, and I think that we need to be in a state personally of personal power. This year has been about seeing the power structures, the unraveling of the old power structures so that something new can be reborn, because the old doesn't work. We know this. We know that the way we're treating the earth doesn't work, that we're treating each other doesn't work, the inequality that exists in our societies don't work. So this is a new way of working with power. And the way I see it is it's a new way of accessing the power within us, that lies within each and every one of us, and operating from that point rather than the exterior. So find a place, find a time every day to just be quiet, to just go inside, to connect with what is true for you. I've often mentioned over the last year, my sort of analogy is sending a taproot right down into Mother Earth, into this present moment, and let that be your PowerPoint. And then the decisions that need to be taken, the actions that need to be taken, can be taken from that place of power. When we're actually connected in the moment, we are very powerful because we're connected to all that is. That's where the answers come from. That's where grace enters. That's where we find intuitive moments of, yeah, that's a knowing. Irrespective of what's being said out there, I know this to be true. That's what we're being called upon to really magnify. So on the 21st, building up to the 21st, wherever your frequency is, that's going to be magnified. So if you're in a frequency and you stay in a very low frequency, in a frequency of shame or guilt or extreme fear, if you stay there, just know that that's going to be magnified. And we can always choose to shift our frequency because we are energetic. And this is our sort of transition into that energetic frequency. It's all about frequency. As Tesla said, if you want to understand the universe, understand frequency, because we are energetic beings. And we're moving into a time where it's going to be very much more apparent that we are energetic beings. Also that we're not alone in this universe. That's going to become more apparent too. And that what we think is true might not be true. So it's very important that we actually anchor ourselves in our own sense of truth, which is really the theme of Sagittarius, the theme of this time right now. So I think it's a good time to prepare for that. Sort of see it as you're preparing to go on a major vision quest or a major retreat, or how would you prepare yourself if you were going to actually prepare for something really big? How would you prepare yourself? This is the preparation ground for that. So spend more time preparing the ground and setting the trajectory of your frequency. Because whatever frequency we hold, both in the solar eclipse on the 14th and the 21st and the week between that, is going to actually have a result on how the next few years play out. I think there's going to be a lot more, I can say, conflict between the powers that be and the people in the next year. That's very clear to be seen astrologically. So we need to actually be as strong as we can so that we can actually make the right choices for ourselves. I think that's it from me today. We've been gifted with a beautiful stay in Greyton. It's just so beautiful here. We're loving it. And I just had to share this beautiful garden with you. Behind are the mountains. You can kind of see them coming and going. It's a bit bright. But it's a really exquisite place to just do what I'm telling you to do. To just be quiet, breathe, reconnect. When you find yourself going into the story, into fear, anxiety. What does the future hold? Breathe. 3 conscious breaths. Bring yourself back to the present. Just keep on doing that. Your power lies in the present. Use mantra. Use affirmation. Use the tools that you've been learning for all of these years. If you've been watching things like this, you know this stuff. Here, it's about bringing it here. I see this as the beginning of a heart-centered society. Might be slow, might take a while, but things are changing. Things will change. And we're part of it. We signed up for this. So here we are. Let's be part of the change. Let's be part of the solution and not add to the problem. What else can I tell you? I don't think I'll be speaking to you before Christmas. So if I don't, have a beautiful Christmas. I might feel inspired to do another one, but I'll see. I'm taking a little time off. So enjoy your Christmas. Enjoy your family. Connect. Really connect at a heart level with those that are precious to you. John and I are running the Innerspace community where we have every month you're able to join us month by month or year by year, and that's going already. You can still join us for December if you like and catch up with our first week. You just go to our website, journeysofawakening.com, and you can register there. And then we'll also be starting another journey to freedom in January. So if you're keen to join us on that, just send us a note. You'll find the details also in the links below. journeysofawakening.com. We haven't decided on a date yet, but we will soon. It'll be sometime in January. We just need to look at the right date. And then I'll be consulting again from January, so if you'd like to book a session, you're most welcome to do so. Lots of love, everybody. Take good care of yourself. Remember, breathe, ground, connect, eat well, get enough sleep, get enough rest. Send that taproot firmly into the earth, into the present moment. That's where your power lies. Lots of love. Thank you for everything. Thank you for listening this year. And thank you for your support. Take care.